But talking about something very, very, very dear to my heart. In fact, somewhere this week, I almost found myself in a fight. I was so upset. Like, I was the one who was, directed at. Because I've seen, a young friend of mine drifting into depression. Because she's been told that if by the end of this year she hasn't found a husband, she will be thrown out of her home. Really? Last year, somewhere at the beginning of the year, it started. Then by the middle of the year, the pressure went down. By the time the year was coming to a close, into waya fiaso wan ware. To umpekunu ware. You're still here. Then, just when the year began, she was told by her own parents, find a husband. You're 33 years. You don't have a place in this home anymore. Just anybody, find somebody, marry, go. And you see, for her, it's not like she doesn't want to get married. There are people who have just resigned themselves to not wanting ever to settle down with anyone. If that is the person's choice, I think they should be left alone. But this person would like to raise a family. She would like to settle down and have a family. But here's the thing. It's not like she hasn't found the person, but it hasn't happened. You're talking to somebody. The person, it hasn't happened yet. Sometimes it's also because you really haven't found that person. So what do? You have to put all the pressure on yourself. People meet you in church, at the office, around town. Hey, dabena wo worry. Into dabena be my neighbor. When are you getting married? When is the man coming? I don't know if men get the same pressure too. But generally, I think that we should just stop demanding marriage of people. Now, if you're single out there, even before we get into the conversation, I encourage you not to look at your singleness in the eyes of the world. The world does not define who you are. Don't look at your situation through the lens of the world at all, but instead look at your situation through the lens of God. Your destiny does not come from the world. The world makes singles feel unattractive, unwanted, embarrassed, weak, unworthy, amongst others. But how so? All this does is create brokenness in that person's life, and it makes them pursue any relationship just to ease the pain. Really, it takes very strong and confident people to be able to ignore all that and live their lives. Not everybody has the mental fortitude and the resilience to say that until I find that person who I am willing to work in with and who is also willing to work in with me, you're better off staying single than being with somebody, in whom you're in doubt of every time. My guest is seated this morning. Mrs. Theresa Wiafe Asante. So, for Mami, good morning.
Good morning.
Afishapa to you. Pepe. Good to see you.
Yes, it's good to see you.
Great. And then, Mrs. Theresa Wiafe Asante needs no introduction. But yeah, I know we've recruited some new listeners this year. She's my Osoph Mami with swag. She's a counselor, a reverend minister. But what I love about her is that she is a realist. She says it as it is. And then I have my very good friend, Nanaya Asante Yeboah. He is a broadcaster. Nanaya, good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning.
And Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Great. And then my sister with swag also. Mami Sewa, she's the curator of Finding the Person Called Me. And she's here with us this morning. Mami Sewa, good morning and Happy New Year to you as well.
Good morning and many returns.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Now, apart from Mrs. Teresa Riafia-Sante, I mean, why should I even say apart from her? Because she has lots of experiences to share as well. She is at the helm of affairs for these things every now and then, running counseling in church, around the world and everything. So she has experienced these things. So she has a world of experience to share with us this morning. Mami Sewa is doing a lot of things. You will get to hear about what she does with Finding the Person Called Me. Otherwise, the other side, she has she also has a personal experience to share with us this morning. Mami Sewa is above 30, not married, and she tells you the pressure that is coming from everywhere as well. Sometimes it makes you just want to give up on everything and just listen to people. But then she is strong, and so apart from her experience, I think she will also share with us how you can actually stand firm and wait for that right time. And then Nana Yao is a veteran. Nana Yao has been married before, divorced, and then now by the grace of God married. He tells you, Adam, I guess he admits that his first marriage failed and he will take full responsibility for it. And most importantly, because he wasn't prepared, he didn't know what he was going into. Pressure, society, family, friends, get married. He did, and it hits the rocks. I don't know if usually when you get married and all these things start coming up, where are they? And when I sent the artwork around yesterday, I noticed later on that there was a mistake on the date. Kindly pardon me. The messages I got in return. As we go along, I will find some of the messages and share with us. Yes. Some of the responses I got seriously are, very heartbreaking messages. Just tells you what people are going through. It's like your life was worth nothing if you haven't found a husband yet. So you have to do everything to find a husband. But once again, good morning and welcome to all of you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Home Affairs is brought to us by Indomie. Tastes great, fried or making life memorable, and Royal Feast Premium Rice, taste of togetherness. Thank you for supporting us. Who do I even start with? Mama T, let me start with you.
All right.
Even the church does it.
Oh,
doesn't
yes,
it?
they are the worst culprits.
How
the
so?
church does it. Good morning again to everybody. Merry Christmas. No, it's not. Rather, Happy New Year to everybody. I've not seen all of you. Right. So it's my first time here this year, and I'm grateful to God. Yes, I said the church is the worst culprit. Like I said, marriage is a beautiful thing. God created it. God created it. So I believe that whatever God created is beautiful. Yeah. When I searched through the scriptures, I noticed that when God was creating, what I read from the scriptures, every day he will say, it is good, it is good, it is good. Until he gave Eve to Adam and then said, it is very good. So I know that marriage is beautiful, very, very good. But I have always, when you were introducing it, you were saying something, and then you came in later to say that you need a lot of strength to be able to stand all of the pressure that piles up on you from society, from the church. Let me start with this story. A few years ago, about 5 or 6 years ago, we went to a friend's wedding, and their friend, the pastor who was ready to preach, asked the first question he threw at the groom. I understand you are a pastor. So he was asking the groom that he knows that, I hear you are a pastor. Who ordained you without a wife?
Wow.
Yes. And
wow.
Yes. We were in one of the very typical Pentecostal churches.
Oh,
and so the pastor asked, the groom went like, what? And he said, yes, because you cannot be made a pastor if you are not married. It is very, very wrong. Every man of God must of necessity have a wife.
Oh my God.
I was, how I was behaving.
And
where
his
I
bride
was
was standing in front of him.
Yes.
Oh.
And this is what the church is asking. The church says that you cannot be made an elder. In most churches, you cannot be made a deacon. You cannot hold any position, so to speak, in a church if you are not married.
Hey.
Yes. Oh, now charismatism has destroyed a number of things, but that is the truth of the matter. So if you want to hold any proper position in the church, get married to anything. Yes. Get married to anything.
Anyhow.
Yes, anyhowly, as long as you are married, because it is, you see, society believes that marriage makes you responsible. And so if you are not married, then they are looking at you as irresponsible. Haven't you heard this? Was settled. So it means that you have to marry to be settled, like to be responsible. That is what they are saying. And so even in the church, they are calling Mr. and Mrs. Asante Eboa, Mr. and Mrs. Fiafia Asante. If even you are 40 and you are a man who should be addressed as Mr., they still call you Brother Osu or Brother Kweku because you are not married. It is true. It is important. Marriage is nice. Like you said, I so believe in what Matthew, where is the scripture? What Matthew, 19:12 says. There are 3 levels of eunuchs. There is an eunuch who is so made by God. And it is so true. There are some people in this life who will never get married. That is why when people go around looking for pregnancy, when it's delaying, I keep telling them, you see, there are 2 things in this life which may not happen to everybody: marriage and childbirth. And so there's a point where you get to and you have to tell yourself, if God is not giving me, I won't push anymore. It is not everybody. That scripture, I said there are 3 levels of eunuchs. Those who are so made by God to become eunuchs, those who choose to become eunuchs for the sake of the work of God, and then those who society make eunuchs. And these are all so important. The church is asking every day after 23 to sisters and brothers, when are you getting married? When are you getting married? Most of our young ladies and young men who are marrying these days in church, every Saturday there is a wedding. There's too much pressure, not only from their friends, but also from the elderly people in the church. When are you getting married? When are you getting married? When are you showing us the man? When are you getting married? And they are making it sound as if marriage is the visa to heaven. It is a good thing though, but if it has not happened, don't kill anybody for it. Because you see, from where I sit, too many things are happening, and I like Mr. Eboa's introduction, which you gave. He has not actually said anything yet, but there are many things I notice. The preparation for marriage. I sit at premarital counseling, and I'm asking, what have you prepared for marriage? And the man is telling me, oh, I have 50,000 cedis in my account. I have this. And I'm asking them, apart from that, what else do you have? You don't have faithfulness, which is a virtue. You have not cultivated it. You don't have understanding. You don't have unconditional love. You don't even know how to speak to the other person, and you don't even know how to carry yourself. You don't understand how to take care of you, and you are getting out there to bring somebody else to you who is so unprepared. I was telling somebody yesterday, preparation doesn't make the journey easy or any less the shortness of the distance, but it says that if I am prepared, I have put a number of checks in place such that if anything should go wrong, I could push this one here and help it to work a little better than if I'm not prepared at all. Everything leaves my hand and gets fully destroyed. So yes, marriage is a good thing, but I still tell society and the church, let us not make it as if it is the breath of life.
It is the breath of life. You see why I love this also for I hope that, we all understand that we're not trying to dispel marriage.
No, not at all.
Or to say that, don't marry, or for people to decide that, they don't want to get married. That is not what we're saying at all. This is not even directed at the people who are single. It's directed at us who are putting pressure on people. And, it got to a time where I know a few people, they see this person come here and they go like, let me pass here. Why? he will start or she will start. When are you getting married? And sometimes they don't even care who you're with. They don't even care whose company you're in. They just, hey, so this year are we seeing the man? Are we seeing that? And then, I mean, you feel so embarrassed. Some people have left the church because of this question. They're tired of standing it. A lot of things have happened to people because you're putting so much pressure on them. And for me, it's miserable when especially so the person would love it and it's not coming and you're making it look like sometimes it is. And then that's when you start hearing people, oh, do this so that you are noticed. That's when they tell you to join the choir, join this, do this so that you are noticed. And then somebody, I mean, I think it's just crazy. We haven't heard, we've heard Mama T's voice. I'll come back to you, Mama Sarah, but let me come to you, Nanaya. In your second war.
Don't call it war.
Sorry. I mean, I didn't mean to say that. I mean, okay, your second paradise.
Yes.
Your second bliss. Yeah. You're married now. Marriage is going well, and that's beautiful. We bless God. But the experience I want us to share, just so we can encourage people out there, is to find out, like you mentioned rightly, you're ill prepared. But what pushed you into marriage the first time?
Well, Mama T or Mati said something.
Thank you very much. You have joined the Mama T.
Mama T.
You know, we need to look at the institution of marriage. And I have this the Institute of Advanced Study of Religion, page 328, 2002. Marriage is the greatest social educator of children. It's an institution that most effectively teaches civic virtues of honesty, loyalty, trust, self-sacrifice, personal responsibility, and respect for others.
So it is good.
Very, very, very good. But then, in the local balance, baby, yanko pombo na mpesi no. Aho no bonsam toto no money.
What does it mean?
Mama T.
Mama say, why you equally lost?
The translation will mean that where God, Charlie, that is.
I understand that he spoke, but how do we relate?
Oh, yes.
The relation.
It is like this. Because it is good, the devil has something, a package for it.
Okay.
Because he knows that when the institution of marriage is very successful, there is less social vices. Because when you have a very successful home, its impact on society. In 2015, Benjamin Netanyahu, in his speech to the UN General Assembly, said this: best intentions don't prevent worst results. What I mean is, the intent of everybody telling you to get married is that it's a good thing. But would it yield the desired result?
True. I know, usually they don't care about that. The most important thing is that you're married, you're somebody's wife, or you're somebody's husband.
It's the same people, when you have a problem, they will tell you, quit. They will intend reward bad behavior.
Yes.
And it makes matters worse. Because instead of maybe advising the person that, no, there is a problem, try and fix it. No. They want the safer option, opt out, or anything else. But in my situation, that was way back in 1999. I lost my parents.
Okay.
I was the only child left. I have other siblings, but they were more concerned. So what are you going to do? I quite remember one of my sisters asked me, do you have a girlfriend? I said no.
Hey.
Well, you need to have one. You need to get a companion. But nobody even said a sentence of what the institution of marriage is.
I'm sure they don't even know.
So it happened that, well, I see a lady and the eyes see sitting.
The eyes like
interested. So I go into it. We start talking, going up and down. And you might think that is what the institution of marriage is. I love you, saying all sorts of words that you want to hear for yourself. And you go in and you realize that 247, 30, 31 days, 365 days. This is different.
Too different.
So before you realize you're already in it, you are not prepared. And one key thing in marriage is patience. If you don't have it, please don't go near the institution of marriage. You need to have a big heart to accommodate a lot of things, both sides. Because one, let's say you are 25 or 30 years. You've been brought up by Mama T in a charismatic way. You go and meet a lady who is, let's say, 20 years from a different upbringing. Remember this. What you believe in, what you have been taught, is not the same as the lady. So you need to accommodate what she's bringing on board. And that's where some of the problems comes in. And now, in putting pressure on, even the ladies especially, you should find a man. I was telling you, the devil has a nice package for us. One of the key ingredients of marriage is sex. And now you can easily acquire it. A JoyFM report once said that it goes as low as 5 cedis. And the men, you want me to go and tie myself down there, following some instructions, whilst I can get it easily? No. So now, if you put the pressure on the woman, the people are not there. The Mr. Perfect or the person that she's looking for, it's not there. So for me, it's not about pressure. What we are in it, let's build it. When you have very good parents, a very successful marriage, it teaches the children how to love, how to care. So naturally, they will come out and want to go into that institution. Why is marriage so good? And someone has to be forced into it. Someone has to be pressured before she or he gets into marriage.
Okay, sometimes it is not the pressure that pushes you, or you're not being forced, not literally being forced into it. But what we are saying is that until now, marriage goes beyond like, I love you, and then because I love you, we're settling down. You get it? From a little bit of the experience that you have, you realize that marriage now is you agreeing or knowing that it is work. It's beautiful, but it is work. Before you earn the salary at the end of the month, you will have to work for it to be able to gain the reward. So you will have to work for the marriage to be able to gain that joy and the beauty that comes with it. It goes beyond the I love you and the day of the wedding. So until you come to that individual comes to that point where you're telling yourself that I am willing to work with somebody through thick and thin. When the challenges come, we will stand. When the joyous moments come, we will stand and make this work. Until you make that decision and it becomes an individual decision. Trust me, when people are pushing you here and there, and you agree, Mama T was saying it, you have not cultivated that thing inside of you. And that will be the problem. So I'm saying, until people have cultivated that character of knowing that when I go into this, I am supposed to do A, B, C, D, and understand the whole institution, we should stop like dipping them into it by force. Say, when you are 35, you are 32, marry. And we are not even helping them to learn what it takes to be married.
No, that's what I'm saying. If our parents are having successful marriage, we learn naturally from what is happening. So you are encouraged to go into that institution because it is good. Nobody will put the pressure on you. For example, it is good sitting with your doctor and you see a wedding dress. Selassie, I want you to wear this dress on your wedding day.
Of course.
That is good. But because there are a lot of negative stories about marriage now, and you are telling the person to go into it. No. He sees you, mom and dad, having problems, and you are putting pressure that you should go. You, a friend, you are telling me this. You are the same person who have been complaining. But if you should make
it attractive.
Exactly. Because there are so many negativity about it. But if you make it attractive, if you make it the way God created it, like Mama T was saying, naturally the person will see that, oh, it's time for me to do this. And once the other side is doing it, it's easily to find a partner. But now it is not. Because most of us going around are from broken homes.
That's truth.
And once there is that alternative package for us, those of us will go there. And it makes it very difficult for the pressure that you are putting on someone that go and look for not Mr. Right, Kopebia Nawari. It's not just anything.
Go and look for. Where are you going to look for?
No. It's not just anything. You need to sit down carefully, have that patience that this is what I'm going to. And because of your upbringing, because of what you've seen around you, when you go into it, there will be problems, but you know how to solve it. But once you are not, like in my case, I didn't know, nobody even
taught you anything.
No. I just went to it. But before I realized, so later, I called my ex-wife to apologize. I mean, before I learned our lessons, so this. So, yes, she told me that, don't bother yourself. I mean, it was a process. I think we were not there yet, but we've learned lessons from it, and
but
we
you
need
see,
to move on.
good, because you two are mature, and you can look back today and say that, we understand that we were young. But there are some people, you would have ended up destroying them for life.
Yes.
Exactly.
You'd have ended up different.
Yeah, people are different.
The way they take things, he might not even want to go into it
exactly.
again.
But you have remarried and she has, because you're different and you learned the lessons. Great.
And it is good. The lessons would help you in this new one. So that's why you are having a nice one this time
and
round.
You know, one of my aunties, may her soul rest, told me that. And now, and that was the one that whether you like it or not, you have to stay.
You have to
stay in there. Do not get out. There will be problems.
And I'm sure this time or the second time, it was your own decision.
Yes. And whether there is a problem or not, I will stay.
Yes, but that is it. Once it is your own decision and you are there, where are you going? There's no one else. God has been good to you. Granted you one second. There's no one else out there for you.
There was this story about a man. The woman decided that she's no more going to carry on with the marriage. They sat down. Okay, the man said, okay, he agrees, but I can't hear back. Or the man our real no. Bring
it back.
I can force out. Don't need any right?
So
bring my love back, and then you can go.
And that was it.
Wow. Great lessons we're sharing this morning. Let me turn to Mami Sewa. Let me read this message, and probably you'll be pondering over it. When Mami Sewa is done with her submission, we can look at it. The person saying, hello, look at how the hello is very long, hello. Just so I won't skip it. Good morning, Adam. And your team, I trust you well. Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Also, kindly connect me to any God-fearing and fervent, prayerful, beautiful, respectful, dutiful, industrious, and hard-working single lady for marriage. I have not time to waste in the name of relationship, but ready to settle down in 6 months' time. But I believe I am not desperate, but really need to get married and move on. That is where I'm concerned. Who says that you can get married and move on? Move on where?
I should get married and get stuck.
So, Gamaja from Nugu, I just read your message. We'll talk about it. But Babi Sewa, share with me the pressure.
Okay, let me read something that I wrote some years ago. This was actually 2005. And I said, what do you see when you look at me? Do you see just a F? That was back in the day. A pretty face, or someone you want to build with? I want someone I can build with. Eureka, I think I found it. To build with. Our paradise and hell, but ours restarted. So this was decades ago when I wrote this. I think I was in a space where I was actually in a relationship when I wrote this down, but it was a relationship that I didn't know exactly where it was going, and just trying to make sense of what or where I was in that space. And so present day, actually, I think this week, I actually have been asked that question this week already. And even more interesting was I had a relative of mine ask me somewhere towards the end of last year. It was like, oh, one of your relatives has a position out of the country. I said, yes. Are you going to visit them? I said, yes. And said, oh, that's good because maybe when you go there, you find someone.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, oh, so Ghana is not good enough. So now I have to go outside Ghana.
Yours is an international problem.
Oh, Charlie. Yeah, so I am going outside Ghana to find me someone.
Oh, my world.
Yes. There's not enough in Ghana here. So, but the beautiful thing is, I've had 2 different lives. So my childhood was in Ghana. My adult life was outside of Ghana, and now I'm back in Ghana.
Okay.
And so looking at different phase of it, I remember when I turned 25, this was my boss in the States. And he's like, you're 25 and you're not married. That makes you an old maid.
Wow.
25,
Wow.
an old maid. And this was in the U.S.
Wow.
So the
it's
pressure
not
is
only
not
in Ghana.
just only in Ghana. It's all over. Yeah.
An old maid.
Yes.
At 25.
Yes, you're 25. You're an old maid if you're not.
Daniela, your family members are coming at you.
Those 40, they are what?
Oh,
Dinosaur.
Oh, yes, dinosaur. Yes, a dinosaur.
Wow.
Yes. So if I'm an old maid at 25, definitely a dinosaur right now. But what I have realized is, I think part of it is I also have this personality that I will give you a smart remark. But in our culture, you have to be respectful. There was something that my mom told me a long time ago, and I think that's another thing that kept me going. She said, I wouldn't pressure you because if it doesn't go well, I don't want you to hate me. And she always used to tell me that. So in your own time, you do it because I don't want it to come back on me. And growing up, she used to tell me she got married when she was 20, her first child at 21. She didn't want me doing that. And I never asked her. And she would say something like, oh, marriage is not a bed of roses. And I'm thinking, Ma, what is all this that you keep whispering and, you know. And so I used to tell my friends, I'll get married at 30. And I didn't understand why 30. Until one day it hit me, it was like, oh, wait, your mom said 20. You just add 10 to it to say that you said 30. So at 30, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm 30, so I'm ready. Well, like I say, life happens. It didn't go the way I wanted it. And yes, the desire is still there. But the one thing I realized, and this was even after I came back to Christ, because I run away from him so much. I didn't want to have anything. In fact, I blame God for everything. I was like, the reason why I'm not enjoying life is because of him.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it's like. I'm not enjoying life because of you. I can't do this and that and that and that. And then I have my mom whispering in my ears. That's too much. So I have a mom that's not giving me pressure. I want to get married, but I'm not getting married. And then you come and then you have people saying, so when is it happening? When is it happening? When is it happening? I found I don't know if I can call it a prophetic declaration I had written down. And it was actually, I think it was like 2014, so it was like 3 years out. And it was actually very detailed. It was, and the years was 2017, 2015, 16. It was, and it said something around a certain age where I was going to settle. So I was like, wow, I did not know it. And most of it had actually happened. So I was like, okay, well, if this is it, then it should. But it didn't happen the year it was written. So I was like, God, what happened? But at the same time, you have people telling you, you have to marry, you have to marry. And when does it happen? I mean, I went as far as tell my colleagues, on this day, this is my wedding day, mark it. Yes, I had told them. And I remember that day I got a phone call from one of my siblings. And it was, oh, this went wrong. This went wrong. This went wrong. This went. And I broke down, started crying because I said, today is my wedding day. And she's like, what? I'm like, yes, I declared today as my wedding day. And you call me, and my words to her was, I feel like it's a Job day because everything you've told me is negative. And I said, well, it's morning, and this is how I'm starting my morning. Well, the day is not over. And I was like, okay, so where's the man? I'm like, I don't know. But it's my wedding day. And the day ended without me getting married, without me meeting anyone. And so I have to now go back and say, my faith has been shattered. How do I move from this place? Meanwhile, Auntie then this year, this year, I was like,
Then I may.
yeah, but they're not realizing I put pressure. There's already pressure on myself. I'm trying to pick myself. I'm trying to move on. I'm trying to deal with stuff. And then you keep asking me the same question over and over again. And like you said, if I could, I would have. But do I really need it? And what really keeps me going is a mentor of mine asked me, will marriage get you to heaven? Will marriage get you to heaven? And I was like, I don't know. I don't think so. And so it's like, if I'm standing before my maker, what would I say to him? Because I didn't marry, I didn't do X, Y, Z. I was like, no, I can't say that. I have responsibilities. I have gifts and talents that I have to do what I have been called to do, irrespective of who is next to me. And so I have to do that. I have to press on. And I want to be able to stand in front of God and give an account of what I did with what he has given me. And not because I am waiting to get married. I had a friend of mine said, you don't act like the unmarried single ladies. And I said, what do you mean? He said, you're not acting desperate. And all I could think of was, God has given me so much. He's blessed me so much. So if there's one thing he hasn't given me, I am going to now be angry and walk around so mad at the whole world because he hasn't given me this just one. I'm like, I can't do that. There's too much. He's given me too much. So I am grateful for where I am. And yes, I look forward to enjoying this institution. But I will not let that hold me back. And yes, you can say it all you want, and I'll just give you a smile and say, Onam Kwanso. And that's the truth, Onam Kwanso. He will manifest in his own time. It will be beautiful. So I look forward to it.
Wow. Interesting. But you see, if everybody will have this strength. Daniela, you want to come and share? You have a story to share. Daniela, should I mention your age? Daniela is like in her early 20s. And yesterday she told me, Adam, the pressure already. Yes.
20.
Yes. Marry early. Don't let anybody waste your time. When you see the person, bring the person home.
Sharp.
I mean, like, real quick. So, I mean, because of that, the people who say these things to you, you start avoiding them small. You'll be there sometimes 6 months, then you call them once. Because you know the moment you make your phone call, the pressure starts. Nothing else really matters. Good morning, Adam. This when are you getting married thing is not easy at all. I will be 50 this year. I haven't married because I have gone through a lot of disappointment. So as of now, if I get to marry, fine. This is somebody whose heart is still opened to it. It just hasn't happened. But if not, I won't worry about it. If you force yourself into marriage, you will realize that it's no child's play. So allow the young ladies to take their time in getting someone to marry. And then she went on to say, if you force your daughter into marriage and she brings an armed robber home, what will you do? I have this one on my phone that says, I'm happy about the topic today. I have turned myself into a counselor advising people to be strong on this issue. Some listen and others don't. It happened to me, but I stood by my words and said to myself, I will get the right person at the right time. And even before long, I got married even before 30. But once they pass 30, it's like a curse, really very pathetic. Most parents can be blamed for this. And she says now, it's if you don't find a husband, just have a baby.
We've moved to another level.
Please don't do a WhatsApp call. I can't answer it. Your number ends with 003. Cut the call because I can't answer your call now. Thank you very much. I will activate the phone line shortly on 0302216541 so you can call that line. But don't call the WhatsApp number. WhatsApp is 0244340437.
I can actually attest to that one.
Which one is that?
Have a baby.
Oh, that one has also come out.
Oh, yes. Oh, Charlie. Charlie, it's like, look, get the baby.
That's it.
You can leave the man. Just get the baby now. Oh, Yes. I heard that one, and it came from a very trusted
most
place.
of the get married thing. Bottom line is, especially for a lady, there is a point where you can give birth to children again. That is what they're saying. And so why won't you, if you are not getting the husband, why won't you get a baby? And it is the new thing.
But Mama T, the one dangerous thing that some churches are doing is turning themselves into dating camps.
It is amazing, right?
Mama Sawa, can't you see that Kwame looks good for you?
Most pastors are matchmaking.
Yeah,
they are matchmaking.
that's where the danger is. Yes.
And most of these marriages,
Really?
I have been in this thing 17 years, or I've been counseling the last 17 years. And then most of the marriages the pastors are putting together, I'm not saying all, most of them are not doing well. And then the effect is rather on the pastors. That's bad. It is so terrible. That's bad.
And, we should put in our mind, it's a process, not an event.
Yes.
Mr. Perfect or Miss Perfect is nowhere.
It's not there.
It's not there. So make up your mind that you've seen someone, he looks good for you, the two of you, you think you can get along. Agree, like you said, have that mind that this is what we want to do. Let's work towards it.
Finish.
Marriage is not sunshine, but the two of you should have an umbrella.
Yes, sure.
To go through the storm. If you decide that, no, each time one decide, maybe I have to go. No, please, there is a problem. What do we do? So make that mind. The pressure, as for the ladies there, I pity them.
Yes.
For the men, finding someone to have a baby, it's easier for the man than the woman.
And nobody even questions you.
Exactly.
If you're a man, of course, you're not the one carrying the pregnancy about.
Exactly. But with that of the woman, after you have that mark around you, that trailer, that you have children, so if you are that good, the man will not leave.
Why didn't you get married?
And the same people will put that pressure on you. Then another one. No. Don't put that pressure on the woman. As for the men, fine. But because we have a nice opportunity, because women cannot be doing what the men are doing. Easily accessing for something else. You get satisfied. You don't want to tie yourself down. And it's the same person that the woman is looking for. The person is getting it somewhere.
I can understand the complication of this.
So you can't even say it as a woman. You can't say it as it is that you want to say it. Person may kind of plain. And so may all ban in tears and may I say so
we are getting it all
so
twisted.
How
we are complicating
in our parts of the world, Mami Sawa was just come to me as Auntie Mepel. How?
Oh, there are in recent time there are quite a number of very adventurous ladies who are really taking it out there on the men. You can as well try that one. It works out much if you are strong enough. If you are bold enough. But I don't know Adam's next line.
There's an interesting message. Says Adam. There's even another one, but see, I'll look for it. It says, I am an elder of Pentecost. Though there is a lot of pressure on me to get married, I am not in a rush. I am taking my time on why one needs to get married before becoming a pastor, elder, deacon, etc. It's just to help the individual to avoid sexual immorality, just as Paul said in Corinthians. Even though some continue to indulge in it after marriage, that's one I call it character. Only prayers and deliverance could help. So what did you do? You were trying to use marriage as a stopgap measure.
Because when people say when I get married, it is no cure for
Thank you very much.
People are married two wives and they are still sleeping outside. Exactly. So that changes nothing at all.
You're trying to use it as a cure. That's the word I was looking for. And it doesn't work that way. Someone directed I have found a message. Where did you go again? Come back. Yes, it's about the same. She says, hello, I agree I have not listened to the other panelists yet, but I am not too happy with the initial comments of my sister. the church has not destroyed anything. Do you know why Moses was compelled to make some other law for the people of Israel? Adam, one of the greatest embarrassments the church is facing is fornication by members. To be placed at responsible positions in church, such as pastoral positions, one must have something to do with marriage. I agree that one is ordained a minister when not married, and after marriage then ordained as a pastor. I'm a preacher, been to many churches in our country and Europe. I know what I am talking about. I don't know which pastor said that to the groom, but the pastor was very right. Marriage reduces and takes away many embarrassments to the church. Really,
I can't accept this one, but we are not
going to argue on it.
But Mamiti, there is
now
this
we're
quotation
looking at
in
the
Bible.
interest of the church as against the interest of the
person.
individuals.
Yes. And that's the truth.
And if you're still talking about the church, what it is that like if you want to veer into a Christian conversation, like, you know, I don't think that when Jesus comes, as we believe as Christians, we're going to be judged as a church.
No.
It is going to be very individualistic.
We are just covering face. That is what the Nigerian man.
There is this quotation in the Bible.
Let me activate the phone lines, and whilst we go on, 0302216541, you can call in and join in the conversation.
There is this quotation, 1 Corinthians 7:28. Hardly do you hear. Paul was telling people that those who get married, you will face worldly troubles. So we should be telling people. But when we have an ideal, very good marriage, parental care, you develop the interest naturally and you go into it and it will be okay for us. But the pressure, they ask for the woman, I don't know.
So we're basically asking people to stop putting this undue pressure on people. You make some people's lives just too miserable. Not everybody has the kind of mental fortitude and the resilience that Mami Sewa has. Even she, at a point in time, was blaming God and thinking that, everything she's going through, God is against her. Until you find yourself, and I guess it's one of the things that really got you into what you're doing. I hope we were able to talk briefly about it. And then she has a new product, and it's actually free, so we'll encourage people to attend just so they can better themselves. Do we have someone on the line? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name? Okay, is that Oti?
Watching.
All right, Oti, let's hear you.
Your panelist. And
Good
God
morning.
bless you. Adam, this issue, one depends on the ladies. If you hate church, you're not married. You don't even want to stay at home. One of my friends told me he can't stay at home because his aunties see when any time they see his face, why are you getting married? But lady is working good, in a good way. He have a good his car, anything. But his auntie tell you have a car, have a day, sorry, it's your husband. You are so they don't want to tolerate you, the lady at all. What the public is doing is really bad. Adam, it's really bad. If you are not married, if you are going to you have good education, and you have no marriage, it's really hell because how they treat you, they will compare you to someone who has just won one. They say, see this lady you have won, and you, after all education, how is your husband? They don't want to even say it back of you. They want to say in front of you to hear that you have not married, so you are useless. It's really bad. It's really bad, so we must stop that. We must stop because
Oti Boate,
really
thank
bad.
you.
Thank you, Adam.
All right. Please stop calling the WhatsApp line. Stop calling the WhatsApp line, please. The number to call is 0302216541. If you're calling the WhatsApp line, it means you're listening to me. Stop calling it. You can only send a text message to 0244340437, but call 0302216541. Hi, Andrew.
What's your name? That's good. That's good. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Andrew.
I'm so confused about the program. Yes, I'm also having the same pressure. But what I told my friend is, I'm facing financial problem. If you can help me, I will marry. This is what I've been telling them. And they are not ready to help me. But they keep on giving the pressure to me, go and marry, and we want you to marry this year. I said, I'm ready to marry. But the only thing is, I don't have a place to sleep, and most people, I don't have a good work. Will you support me for that? And they are not ready. So it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Yes, it's everywhere. We're facing it.
You
So
see,
thank
but
you.
even if
I
they
want
had
this
money to
program-
support you,
I want this program to be repeated again. Even if it's 3 times, I think it's good.
we hear you. Thank you
only-
very much,
Thank you,
Andrew.
Lord.
Thank you.
It is only after the wedding, then everybody leaves. This is just married thing is like cemetery. When you die, we will all come around you. When we leave you at the cemetery, you are left
You're
there
not
alone.
alone. This one says, good morning, Adam. I'm 40 years and the pressure is real. Even a
40
man
they
of
share,
God,
their pressure.
even a man of God I know told me I can have a baby with even a married man if I
yes.
want. And I was surprised. I
So
tried
spoke
not
of it
to
doesn't
allow
mean what is
outsiders who know nothing about me dictate my life. Our Lord has plans for us. This is from Stacy in Mamprobi. Wow. Hi, Jonas. Yes, Jonas.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jonas.
And I think it's a very timely discussion. Very timely discussion. Adam, have you heard this song? It's a song, I think, by Kwade.
I'm listening.
There's a particular song. I heard it some I think about 2 weeks ago, where a question is asked that some of your mates got, you got out of school 10 years ago. Some of your mates have gotten married. You've been attending their weddings. When are people attending yours? I think that even the premise there is wrong. It sort of tells us what we think about as a people. And I was telling somebody, if I had my own way out, I would cause this song not to be played on air, because it's almost like anybody that gets married, it's perceived that person is an extremely responsible person, but not everybody is anyway. It is not marriage that will make you responsible, or if you do not want to be responsible. So parents and everybody around us should stop this whole thing of those things should be out of our equation, so that at the end of the day, we should be asking the most important questions. What's your purpose for life? Because you see, when you're able to identify your purpose for life,
then you know where marriage sits.
I tell you.
Great.
And Dr. Miles Monroe's statement that he made about marriage before his death, one of the things he said was that, you see, it is not marriage that will make you happy. You've got to be happy. Your partner to be has got to be happy. So that we get into the marriage proper, both of you become extremely happy.
Great.
But when people are getting into marriage and they are looking for their happiness from the other person, it means that you're actually not even ready for marriage at all.
All right.
So I think these are things we should be very wary of, and we should be actually be taking notice of. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's an interesting message. Says good morning, Adam. So I have reached a stage where I honestly don't mind if I don't get married, because I have suffered too many heartbreaks. Now it's just about the sex. I feel I have serious issues with commitments as well. Hence the difficulty with opening up to people. In my 30s now, and my family is on my neck. Honestly, I do not care. Is there anything wrong with just satisfying my sexual pleasure and not getting married?
Everything.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different level.
That's on a different
These
level
are two
altogether.
people. They have the men who have the pressure, the women. Why don't they meet?
And then
that would be the easier option, but that's where the problem will come in.
There's everything wrong. Like this is the,
but then you see,
yeah.
something Nanaya said when he was making submission first, and I want to reiterate it.
Someone is on the line.
Some people, okay.
Okay, hello, Kwame.
Yes.
Hi, Kwame.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Kwame. Your name?
Okay. I want to contribute.
Yes, please go
The
ahead.
program is very good. Someone said, you even, like, when they force you like that and you even ask them, oh, help, they won't even help you. But they will be talking. Oh, you are not responsible. You are not responsible. But in America, if you do that, someone can easily shoot you. In America, if you do that, someone can easily shoot you. Is it your problem? So this thing that is going on in Africa alone is very bad. It makes people even enter into marriage and then within some 2 years, 1 year, then there's breakup. It's very, very bad of us. We like talking too much as Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just got a message. And I'm sure the person wants a shout out. That's what they sent the message. Mr. Elliot, night stay. Okay. Good morning to you, wife. And safe journey. He says, hey, wifey, I'm listening. Oh. So shout to you. And Auntie Philo. Safe trip to you both. Yeah, so that was the message. Marty, you were saying something.
I was saying that, yes, Nanaya made a statement, and I want to reiterate it. Like, some people also, they have not ever witnessed a beautiful marriage, even between their parents. So a young man of 26 told me his parents are pastors. So that's why I'm saying, for the first person who said, there are too many things are happening on the front of ministry, at the front of ministry, that people don't know. And he said, growing up, I didn't want to get married. But for 3 years, my parents are pastors. Both of them are. And they are almost like not married, though they are living together. They are not talking to each other. They are not sleeping. They are not doing anything together as a couple. It is even deepening my claim of not wanting to get married. Yes, these people like this are not finding proper role models in marriage. And so some of them don't even want to look at it at all. It means that for us also as parents, our children, very young ones, they are innocent learners. And so we should make sure that if we want them to get married, some of them it is important that we model good marriage relationships before them so that they pick it up. But apart from that, there are other people who are just not ready for the commitment and for the sacrifices that they have to make into long-term relationships.
Marty, don't you think the church is tackling the symptoms and not the disease? Instead of encouraging married couples to be the way we want marriage to be, so that people will naturally learn and come out and do it. But instead, just get married. That's the easier option. But if you should build, because like you said, children, they look at us. They are learning. And if it is good, nobody will want himself to be forced into it. Naturally, you will go into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So I think the churches have a duty to play. And society, we need to be very careful.
All of us are
we need to be very careful.
Yes.
Now, Indomie instant noodle. As if somebody is putting so much pressure on you. Dash them a box of Indomie. Let them cook and enjoy. And then they keep their mouths shut. Indomie instant noodle, tastes great. Indomie instant noodle is a complete, wholesome and delicious meal. It is full of essential nutrients and is rich in calcium, proteins, carbohydrates, and vitamins, so have it anytime, anywhere. Also, you can add your favorite and personal touch to your favorite Indomie meal by adding your choice of ingredients like vegetables, egg, fish, chicken, meat, and prepare Indomie just the way you love it. So go love it your way. For tasty Indomie recipes and other details, check out Indomie Ghana page on Facebook and Instagram. Indomie, tastes great. All right, we'll be touching on. I guess the point has really been made. We've drummed it home. But quickly, let me just take your final words. But before then, Mami Sewa, you have a project coming up, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's.
So the project is called the F Lab, and it is targeting women between the ages of 20 to 30. So what we're trying to do is empower women to get into the technology space. And so this is, and I have the men ask me, oh, Charlie, so they're not part of it. And we're saying that, yes, they can be part of it as long as it is female-led, female co-founders. So we want the women to have their upfront. And applications is ongoing. The deadline is actually coming up pretty fast. And what they're going to get is they're going to get training in terms of the technical training, business development, mentors, coaches, co-working space. They're going to have a space where they can actually test their products. So we're not just having you do the theory. This is actually practical and growing business. And we want to empower our women, give them something to do.
And this is free.
Yes, that's the best. It's being sponsored by GIZ. So all you have to do is apply to it. So they... let me give you the link. It's innohub.com.ga/flab. Okay. Innohub innohub.com.ga/FLab. So you go over there and fill out the application, and if you qualify, we'll reach out to you for an interview. And we're looking forward to encourage our women to get into the tech space.
Great.
Yeah. So that's the
So take advantage of this, and I'm happy that you really don't have to pay anything to be able to, equip yourself with this knowledge, especially so at the beginning of the year.
Absolutely.
And your final words on the discussion we're having. We will make time to come and talk about finding the person called me.
I will make finding the person called me the final words. I believe that is what I can't stress it enough.
We have a minute each.
You have to find find your purpose, know your purpose, so that the person that you actually meet is going to complement and accomplish the purpose together. Because you have a purpose, that person needs to have a purpose. If that person doesn't know their purpose, then how are you going to help each other? So know yourself, know your purpose.
And if you do that, I am sure you will be able to stand
together
and resist the pressure. Thank you very much, Mitsewa. Mama T.
Yes, Sister Edem. It is good. Marriage, like we have all said that we can't say it any more than we have already said. Marriage is good.
Beautiful.
In fact, anything God does is good. Some of us, we have been here for plenty years.
I just send shout outs.
And everything is fine. But you see, let the church stop all this pressure. Let society stop all this pressure. Stop making people feel that they are less of a human being if they are not married. You were a fool, like my daughter when she was young. She thought that woman is woman being, man is not woman being. So you are a full woman being if you are not still married. And if you want to get married, someday you will get married. I pray for one thing I ask parents, mothers, fathers, let us bring our daughters up, especially to have enough of self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-purpose. It is not marriage that would add up to anything if she is not anything. Marriage will make it worse. Let us build their confidences. Let us help them build their self-esteem, and let us help them become the human beings that God has made them to be, so that when marriage comes, it becomes an addition.
Great. And finally, from you, Nanelle.
What we need to do is, we need to make marriage as an institution. We all agree, like Mama T said, it's a good thing. There is no doubt about it. But then, people around us impact on the decision that individuals make. If the marriage is good at home, naturally, you want to go into it. If your friends are complaining, you wouldn't want to go. And the same friend will be putting that pressure on you. If you think it is good, why do you complain?
All right.
I am not in support of people, especially the ladies, because the born one day, forget it. I will advise you to stay like that. If you bring it out there, you don't know what it will happen to society. Please. The churches to stop the dating program, please.
And I think that our prayer too is that for everybody who really, there are some people who can't be bothered, but for everybody who really desires to be married, we pray God will grant it unto them.
That is very important.
Amen. Now, my few thoughts. I'm saying that marriage is beautiful. Whoever discourages you from getting married is obviously in a terrible one, and they didn't do their homework well. That's why they may be discouraging you. Do not let their unhappiness rob you of the joy of being married. What you shouldn't allow, though, is allowing people to put pressure on you to settle down because they think you're growing, that time is running out on you, or whatever reason they may be giving you. That one, resist it with every little drop of blood in you. Oh yes, every weapon available to you. You're better off being single than being with, the wrong person. People choose and stand by. Please choose and stand by being single to being with somebody who fills your heart with doubt and your soul with misery. By all means, stay single if the decision to settle down is not your decision, but pressure and force from family, friends, people around you, society. And remember that marriage is beautiful, but it is work. Finding someone you love is not good enough for marriage. Marriage is work. And if you find somebody you're willing to work through the thick and thin with, then yes, settle down. It is work. Like I said, if you don't work, you don't earn a salary. So you don't work, you don't find the joy that comes with it, you have to work. Even saying that I love you every day, it's work. Remembering to place that call. When the children come, you will have to juggle. It's all work. And you have to be ready in your mind to tell yourself that no matter what the stage we get to, we will work through it. When you come to that point mentally, man. And for those of us putting pressure on singles and trying to make their lives miserable and unbearable, please simply stop it. You are not God. Their destinies don't lie in your hands. Marriage is beautiful, but it is not everything. People have lost their lives in marriage due to the same pressure for them to settle down. Mind your business.
Proper last word.
Yes, mind your business and let them be. God is preparing them and preparing that very special person whom they are willing to work with. Your pressure is unwanted and unwarranted. Good morning and have a very, very, very beautiful day. Enjoy the weekend and find time this weekend. Do something exciting. Visit somebody you miss. And stay blessed. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you, Fairboy. And thank you, Seth, and every other person who supported us. Thank you. We're out of here. Sammy Forsen is here already with the Weekend City Show.
This is who I am. Oh, yes, I'm me. Yes, I'm me. I'm so unique. In everything I do, I'm always me. Always me. Is in my personality. Oh, yes, I have ability. Oh, you can see that I'm different from the rest. Like my Indomie. Like no other. The way I cook is style and the way it is. Like no other.
In whatever you do and however you do it, you are like no other. Indomie, love it your way. Indomie tastes great.